Hello guys, second attempt at this video. I just recorded the whole thing and I didn't have the on button pushed on. Anyway, about a year ago, I did an unboxing of this shoe, the Lems Boulder Boot. And I had a request from one of my subscribers asking if I could do a review after it's about a year, maybe not quite a year, of having these shoes. How have they held up? I'm going to link to the original review below so you can check it out. I won't go into as much detail about the shoe at this point, but basically a quick overview. Lems makes shoes that are primarily barefoot shoes. The sole is very thin. You can't do this with your Timberland boot. They're extremely light and they're designed with almost no cushioning in the bottom. The idea is that your foot in the shoe should be the same as if you were barefoot. And the mentality behind that, the thought behind it, is that you're building up the muscles in your foot to strengthen it the way it would be naturally. It also has a very wide toe box for that reason, because toes are supposed to splay out. If you look at a baby's foot, when a baby's born, narrower in the back, wider at the top, their idea is that's a more natural foot position. Now, I am 60 years old. And I do usually need some padding in my shoe just because my feet are old. I also have a problem of two neuromas in my right foot. A neuroma is a growth on the nerve. It's not cancerous, it's usually scar tissue as the result of some kind of injury. I did have an accident with that foot which caused the neuromas. Sometimes people get neuromas in their feet just from wearing high-heeled shoes too much and having like a long-term stress injury on the nerves. So watch those heels, ladies. I love high heels. I cannot wear them anymore because of the neuromas. Anyway, if your feet or toes are squashed together, those neuromas, you have a nerve running up between your toes. Pretend these are my toes. There's little toe beans that stick out, and then there's bones that go further into your foot, and the neuroma's right about here. And when you wear shoes that squeeze your foot together at that point, it's squeezing that enlarged nerve, and it can hurt. It can feel anything like a crackling or a snapping to pain, and I get the pain. So I need shoes with a wide toe box, and that led me to the Lems. The barefoot thing I wasn't all that keen on, but I did find once my feet got used to them, I found them actually very comfortable. Anyway, here's the Boulder boots. These Boulder boots are canvas and leather. The inside has this little soft material. It looks like a plaid shirt. It's not quite flannel, but it's close. And then they come with, I just took this out, they come with this thin insert. You could wear them without the insert too. They're perfectly comfortable either way. The insert has a little bit of bumpiness on. I don't know if it's going to show up on camera, just a slight bit of bumpiness, which I find really comfortable on my feet. If you want to put an insert in here with more cushioning, you would need to size up. Now with these Lems Boulder boots, I originally ordered them in, I'm trying to remember the size, 38 is the equivalent to 7.5. That's my normal size. And it was a little bit too small. My other pair of Lems, that size fit me perfectly. Because these have that stitching, almost like Docksiders, kind of that moccasin stitching on the top, I think it's just slightly narrower than their other shoes. The sole is the same. They use the same sole on every shoe. This was just a hair snug on me, especially if in the winter I put on thick warm socks. So I sized up. These are an 8. I sized up a little bit. They fit great. How have they held up? Well, in the past couple of months I've been wearing boots because it's been warmer out, and they've been sitting in my mudroom, and the cat has been curling up on them, so they have a little bit of cat hair on them. But these shoes have been through the entire winter as my primary boot, and they look almost new. I'm very impressed. The sole has stayed intact. They've held up very well. They are such a light shoe. They don't feel like regular boots. So I've been very happy with them. Okay, here's the size in here. The size on this is 40. Whatever the Lems shoe sizing, my size 8 comes out to a 40 in these Boulder boots. Now, as far as can you wear them in the snow, they are not waterproof. This is a canvas material here. However, it's treated and they are water resistant. These were my go-to boots when it snowed. Now I live in New Jersey. We do not get heavy blizzards except maybe once in a generation. So you're talking 3 inches of snow, 6 inches of snow, the kind that you shovel and the sidewalks are clear. I could wear these out in that with no trouble. My feet did not get wet. When it rained, I could put these on. And if I'm going out to the car, going in and out of a building, my feet did not get wet. I think if you had a torrential downpour where water was coming up to here and you wore these out in that, eventually the water would get through and it would get wet. They are water resistant, and that is the best term for them. They're quite water resistant, but they are not waterproof. So if you're in a place with extreme weather, you're still going to need your wellies on your feet. However, much to my surprise, with our low level of snow in my area, these were primarily my go-to winter boots. I put some thick socks on with them and they were fine. Here's my hand. That's how tall they are. I have like a fairly normal adult female hand size. So I'm guessing that's, I should have measured them. 1, 2, 6 inches, 7 inches. All right, so again, it's not, if you're in a place with a lot of snow drifts, they're kind of like a regular work boot, tall Timberland size. I find it fairly comfortable around the top. It does get some getting used to, as any of these boots would in the back, but I think they've held up really well. Here's the other one. I think I have more cat hair on this one. All right, yeah, definitely cat hair on that one. And they have mud on them. Hold on a second, stop the dog from barking. All right, they are a little dirty because they have wore them out in the mud and in the weather, but they've held up really well. I'm pleased with them. I do leave the top of this unlaced because otherwise they're too tight around my leg, but they're fine this way. So as far as how they held up over the year, I think they held up really well. Now, Lems take getting used to because they don't have cushioning. And if you're used to your foot being raised up a little by most shoes, to have it completely flat down, how can I do this with my foot? There we go, flat like that. Your tendons and your muscles in your foot aren't used to it. So when you first get Lems, wear them for maybe 15 minutes a day until your foot gets used to the very different structure of the shoe, or buy a size up and put an insert in them. Anyway, do I recommend them? I've liked them. They look like they're gonna last through at least one other fall and winter season. I have no complaints about them. And if you have any questions, you can ask them in the comment box, or I'll have my email down there. You can email me. I will be happy to answer them. My favorite Lems, however, are not the Boulder boots. My favorite Lems are the Mariner in leather. That is their version of a boat shoe, like a Sperry topsider, but it's got that nice wide front. Those shoes need breaking in time, because they will affect your ankle at first, but once they break in, they are the most comfortable shoe I have ever worn. So, thumbs up for Lems after almost a year. Other than it being a little dirty, it's almost like new.